Hello, welcome to another video, and today I wanted to show off the Blender. This is a melee build that I've been running, been meaning to cover it for quite a while, since it's a lot of fun, and it's just been really powerful, and it's still good here at Chaos 50, so... Okay, thank you for interrupting me. So the main weapon I use is the Goblin Pickaxe as our choice of melee weapon. Twin Soul can be pretty good if you get a good roll for it. Salt and Battery is probably going to be the best melee weapon. It's just really good. And then after that, if you just get good rolls of other melee weapons, they're pretty good. You know, things like the Frying Pan, the Wailing Banshee is a top tier one. Petty Tantrum was alright, not the greatest. Not tested Snake Stick yet. But in general, it's kind of strong enough to make most things work. I've even done fists, punching. Not quite as good anymore, though. But yeah, Pickaxe is my personal favorite. I really want one with Vampire. Which I don't have yet. And then the rest of the gear, you know, Livewire, of course. You can also use, I don't have it on me, but a Scalawag or just a bladed 40% pistol. But I do recommend the Livewire once you get to high Chaos Chambers. Bad Egg, just good armor piece. I swap between these two, whether or not I want Caper Tides or not. Best amulet I've got, honestly, could be way better, but that's what I've got. Then I've got a Marshmallow. So a while ago I covered the Fragment Rain Marshmallow, and basically what that did was what that did is I could just drop down the marshmallow, shoot it, and then the ricochets would like just go and attack everything. A similar thing with the marshmallow. Now, a Tidebreaker or a Empowering Sigil, of course, makes sense. Empowering Sigil and Crier, if there are enemies in range, every few seconds it novas and instantly cries those enemies. Very strong spell option. Tidebreaker, of course, gives you the Soaked, which is good for Livewire and if your melee weapon benefits. So running away from me. There we go. And yeah, it's just a very hold W playstyle. You can just do a lot of face tanking. For example, Drill. I just drop down marshmallows and I jump into the water with Drill and just start swinging. I just hold W. And that's kind of how I kill most bosses. Bosses like Banshee are a bit of a nightmare. I just have to try and do a brute force with the Salt and Battery. Salt and Battery typically has enough damage for it. Cool thing about the Salt and Battery is as well, because it does a lot of its damage through its ability. That means it's not as reliant on Livewire. Now, melee builds Nightmare. Everyone targets. Now you can use Ghostblade. Ghostblade is great. Ghostblade's a lot of fun. But you can also use the Marshmallow. So I'll just plonk it down. And just starts hitting the Marshmallow. Now the thing with the Marshmallow is most melee weapons will not trigger their effect when hitting the Marshmallow, which means you basically only really just get the raw DPS of the weapon, which makes the Salt and Battery a little bit worse, and the Pickaxe one of the best weapons in the game for it. So I tried Petty Tantrum as well. This one creates like explosives. Wasn't a good marshmallow tool. But Wailing Banshee, Pickaxe, Pan, all solid for taking out Cyclopses. For other annoying bosses, Imelda, the options are Cry. For Theodore, it's Cry. This is mainly a problem on the boss's hitboxes. Ghostblade is normally the option for these kind of things, only Ghostblade doesn't really hit the hitboxes on the Soul Cells, or Imelda, or Banshee very well, and it's a problem with the Ghostblade's hitbox. Well, the boss's hitboxes really, but could be fixed either side. And it's not so much a problem at lower chaos levels, like 35. It's more and more noticeable at 50. Bernadette, for when I do need to do ranged, I do use a Delusion for Soaked and the Sword Explosion. And this means that the only bosses that I really don't want to run into for this build is basically limited to Imelda. I can brute force through Theodore, although it's a very long, kind of annoying-ish fight. Imelda's just kind of the worst. There is a spot underneath. Once you get Imelda teleporting to the sides, you can place a marshmallow on the roof above you as you go underneath her, and there the marshmallow can go through the floor. So you can attempt that. But she needs to be, like, teleporting from side to side. Alright. Gargle's not one of the tankier mini-bosses. Really hope that healing thing doesn't actually hit him. Okay, nearly did. Just brute force the mini-bosses down. On to the next. Goblin room? I think it was a goblin room.
Worms won't go hungry tonight.
Now, in terms of spec and what we use for damage, I'll quickly throw it up now. From the shadows, you can use Ghost Blade. You can use these technically. Your action skill choice doesn't really matter. I just say from the shadows is best. Haste is great. Potent Poisons is good, considering that Alchemical Agent and Contagion. Exploit their weakness. Swift Death doesn't really do so much for us, but it does more than this line of skills. And then Berserker, we go just good Berserker skills. Now, more Iron Skull. I could sacrifice point of Blood Frenzy and get one more Iron Skull, and I have tried a max Iron Skull. The problem is if you get too much swing speed, the ow, cryo. The pickaxe actually breaks. Too much swing speed breaks the pickaxe's animations, and it keeps resetting, and you end up having the swing speed of a slow wailing banshee, and it's really annoying. So I had to can that idea, which sucked. Okay, so I've skipped ahead to the boss here, and it's Volcanar, one of the tanky bosses of the game. Thankfully, Volcanar's quite grounded, so we can just run up to him and start swinging. And yeah, we just kind of brute force through. Not too bad. This particular feature had Critical Connoisseur, which I could have taken, and it makes this go much faster. Critical Connoisseur is definitely a modifier you want to take if given the option. And we put the marshmallow down, so when it pops it gives us some healing. And marshmallow is great for just like littering around the arena. It just gives you healing. It's great. Very useful for some of the tougher fights like Solissa, Theodore, Drill, Banshee, Dragon Lord. It's very useful for airborne targets. It's very useful for bathworms as well, when you've got those sea of bathworms rushing you. Nice little sub-bait there. Sea of bathworms is rushing you. It's very useful for that. So yeah, that is the blender. Lots and lots of fun. Just fast swinging melee. Hold W, swing the pickaxe. Say the Salt and Battery is probably the best overall, but I did the extended run, the super extended, and it was all around the same amount of time to complete between pickaxe, Salt and Battery, Wailing Banshee. It was all around the same. Hero stats is Strength, Wisdom, and then Dex. And then Myth rank is self-cap at 20% on the uncapped nodes. Playing on Intense. So yep, lots of fun. This is one of my strongest builds that I just like playing. It's just hold W, strong. I do really want a Vampire Goblin Pickaxe with the 1.9 swing speed and good damage. Enchants, just whatever you can piece together, really. I'm going for spellcast all damage here on the Marshmallow currently. So yeah, if you plan on trying this out, I hope you enjoy it. Thank you so very much for watching. Have a wonderful evening. Stay safe, stay awesome. I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.